everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I know it's been a long time. I don't know what this glare is. Oh, I think it's from my mirror. Oh yeah, definitely is. Let's see if we can try to fix that. I think that's better. Anyway, thank you for coming back to my channel. I know it has been a really long time. Sorry, I'm doing the Broadway. I know it's been a really long time. A lot has been going on. All the things, everything you can think of probably happened, who knows. But so I figured I'd come on here and not only do a get ready with me video, but kind of an update video as well, just so you guys don't hear me talk about, oh, concealer and makeup, because I know that gets really repetitive. So I thought this would be a cool update video rather than, again, than me just sitting there. I can be moving around, get ready to go out, and kind of let you guys know what's been going on. Okay, primer's done. All right, now let's get started on my face and life updates. As you can see, I have a little fall decor of some leaves around my bed and then lights around. I should have put them on for this video. There might have been a glare though. Next time. Oops, sorry. I'm shaking my phone because I'm trying to move over a little bit. Okay. Okay. So one update, one pretty exciting update is, so I know I made a video about what happened to my car, and my car is finally back, which is very exciting. As you know, it's been a very long time. Literally since that video was posted, I haven't had my car, so that just tells you how long it's been, which obviously has not been fun. Well, it was a little fun for a little bit because so the first rental I had was a Nissan Versa, and I'm not a fan, sorry. I'm not a fan of the Versa. But the dealership called me and they're like, hey, we still don't have the part for your car, so we're gonna renew your agreement for a rental. So you're gonna keep your rental basically on us. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, well, you know what? Since it's on them, I'm not paying, they're paying. I'm going to try to upgrade or trade in the rental that I have. And I was like, you know, it's worth a shot. And so I went in one day and I was like, hey, I want to trade in. And they're like, oh, it's actually good because your rental is due for maintenance anyway. So we would have called you soon to have you bring it in. And I'm like, well, what are the odds of that? And so originally there wasn't really anything that I could just take because, you know, people rent cars, so they reserve what car they want, you know, shape, size, whatever. Oh, cheers. And so I couldn't just kind of, you know, like there was a truck in the parking lot and all this stuff, but I can't just take it off the lot. And so I went back home and they're like, well, come back around, you know, after 4:30 or call us first, you know, just so you don't come all the way here and we still don't have anything. And I'm like, okay. And so, sorry. Of course I got it on my finger. And so I call and they're like, oh, we actually just got a Ford Focus in if you just want to drive that. And I was like, well, you know, I'm used to it and I really want to get rid of this Versa. Like I said, I was secretly hoping for something better, but I was like, you know what, I'll take it. As soon as I got there, the guy was like, I am so sorry. This guy was supposed to be here at like noon and he just showed up for the rental. And that's the only car we had for him. But when I was there earlier, there was actually a woman dropping off a Dodge Challenger, you know, because not everyone can drive those kinds of cars that they get. And so I looked at him and I was like, what about that one? And he goes, the Challenger? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I can give you that one. You want that one? Like, he was a surprise that I liked it or something. I don't know. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, yeah, perfect. We can totally make that trade for you. Sign this, 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 this. And so for about 3 weeks or so, I had the Dodge Challenger. So that was pretty cool because obviously I would never ever own that car. Not because I didn't like it. I absolutely loved it. But, you know, it's not in my price range or my mom's when she got me my car. So you know, enough said there. And so, but it was awesome. Like, the power was awesome. It drove so smooth. Ugh, it was amazing. It was a lovely, lovely made car. And then, so like I said, so I finally have my car back. I went and officially got it on Monday, and she's doing good. There was a transmission. Luckily, it was their fault, so I meaning my mom, didn't have to actually pay for anything. So, yay. So, oh, my hair. So got it back, but of course, the minute I got it back, the lovely oil change light goes off, and I'm like, really? They had my car, and like, why weren't they like, hey, you need an oil change, you want us to do it? Because I know they do it. So I was a little upset that once I got my car, then I need an oil change, but luckily I was off that day. So I went and just took it to get it. I got it washed, interior and exterior, and then took it around 5 for the oil change. Just because, you know, stuff like that has to get done. You know, you can't really wait, especially like when my car, you know, usually I have a sticker that tells me, but of course it was due when the dealership had my car, so I couldn't actually do anything. And so when my car tells me I need an oil change, that literally means like, hey, your car is gonna break down again, get an oil change. And so I took it to Firestone, had to get the oil changed and all that. But like I said, now she's all good, driving her tonight. When Firestone checked it out, they said everything, you know, looks good. I guess like the tire tread or something is low, but that's a whole new day. So yeah, that's a whole, oh my god, what is this? That's a whole different day extravaganza. Okay, so another newish thing is I actually got a fish. His name is Chicago because he's blue, so of course Chicago Cubs. I was gonna name him Bluey, but I was like, I feel like that's kind of dumb. So I now have a fish. Like I said, his name is Chicago, and I also got 2 snails, Sheldon and Leonard. Yeah. Yep. Literally the first thing I thought of for a snail name was Sheldon. Like, I'm sorry. That was literally the first thing I thought of. And obviously, I love Big Bang Theory, so it was either Sheldon and Shelly or, you know, Sheldon and Leonard. So, and of course, I had to go with Sheldon and Leonard. They're doing good. Every time I look in there, they're always in a new spot, which is kind of cool. They're not always in the same spot. And then obviously my fish swims around and acts like a fish. So, yeah. So they're pretty cute. They're just up in my living room. And to answer your question, because this is the first question my grandma asked me, was, oh, is my cat trying to eat it? No. There is a lid, first of all. So it would have to be some real good magic for them to actually get into the tank. But no, they haven't even like tried. Like, I think they're just like, oh, that's cool. I have to clear off my desk a little bit, so maybe once I move some stuff around, they'll like try to watch the fish. But honestly, they don't really seem very intrigued with it, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I got 2 snails and a fish. I've always wanted a snail, but betas, I always get betas, and they don't work well with others sometimes. So that's why I had to like do some research on what the best like companion type, what's allowed with betas. Even though I heard, because I'm like, betas breed, so I'm like, something can obviously go with it. But that's, again, all for professional people and not me. So if you can happen to hear my television, not this one that's playing music, but I also have the TV downstairs going. It's playing 50 First Dates. So if you hear really random dialogue, that's what it's from. But anyway, so yeah, I wanted something else besides my, you know, just a fish. I've always wanted a snail. They're super cute, and they help keep the tank clean. So obviously I have like a filter and everything, and honestly, like, the tank looks very, very clean. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a tank that clean. Like, I'm not saying like I never clean it, but I just mean like I feel like there's just an extra like, ooh, wow, you know, if that makes literally any sense at all. So yeah, so I got my fish and snail. That's something new. Let's see, what else is new? So I went to Phoenix, about, oh wait, I'm so dumb. Literally a week ago. I don't know why that took me such a long time to figure out. So yeah, I went to Phoenix, last weekend. I went to spend some time with my parents. My dad just had surgery. And so he's finally been recovered and he goes back to work in a week. So I wanted to go and see him. You know, I didn't want to bombard him when he first got out because he was kind of like, you know, I just kind of want to have time to heal and all of that, which I obviously understood. And he goes, I don't really want you to drive out here until I can, you know, go do something with you. And which we did. We went to dinner, which was good. I told my parents I'd been craving bruschetta. And so my mom found this adorable Italian restaurant. It was absolutely delicious. Oh yeah, it was so good. I had, like I said, bruschetta, and then their special entree of the night was prime rib. And if you know me, you know how much I love prime rib. So it was a great night. And I got this delicious, what do they call it, like the ruby red mojito or something. It was so good. Ugh, let me tell you, it was so delicious. And it was a drink actually that wasn't on the menu because I couldn't decide what I wanted. And the drink I originally was gonna get my dad got, so I was like, well, I don't want to copy him. And so but the lady was like, oh, we have a da-da-da that's not on the menu. And I'm like, well, that sounds perfect. And so that's what I got. And like I said, it was absolutely delicious. You know, my mom only let me have one drink because I had to drive to my friends afterwards, which I understand. But I was like, Mama, 2 drinks isn't going to kill me. But I'm like, it's fine. I know that looks like a hot mess. Don't worry. But it was so good. It was, I think it was, Urban and Vine was the name of it. Like I said, and it was so good. My parents got, oh my God, what did they get? I honestly don't even remember. Oh yeah, I think my mom got like, chicken parmesan or something, and my dad got veal parmesan. And I tried a little bit of theirs and it was really good. So yeah, we all enjoyed our food. It was absolutely delish. So that was fun. And then when I got there earlier that day, we went to, Total Wine, and I helped my parents pick out wine. I love Total Wine. And then they knew I was going to my friends later that day, so they're like, hey, bring our wine, and they helped me pick something out. Well, I picked it out, but they paid for it. It was a Portugal wine, because they had actually just gotten back from Portugal, my friends, not my parents. So I felt like that was, you know, a perfect choice. And so so we did that before we got ready for dinner and stuff. And like I said, it was absolutely delicious. And then I went to my friends that night. My friend Celeste, I think I've done a video with her before on my channel. But I went over there and we had a little wine night. Because I've been like really stressed lately, and so I just kind of needed like a third party point of view, and she was obviously the perfect person to have kind of help me out a little bit. And you know, she really helped me through the situation to talk about it and everything like that, so it was great. And her husband was there as well. They just got married. So Celeste, if you watch this, congrats. Yay. Obviously I already said congrats when they got married, but just a little shout out for you. But he was there too. I guess he was actually like really excited to see me because I was like, oh, Jeff actually hung out with us, because sometimes he just kind of does his own thing and then goes to bed. And she goes, yeah, he was actually waiting for you and wondering how long it would take you to get there. And I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to keep you waiting. But so it was fun to kind of hang out with both of them, and they had some cheese and stuff ready, like a little mini charcuterie board, nothing like super crazy, just because it was like 7:30 at night, but it was delicious. And we had some wine that they had already opened, and then we didn't open the one that I got them yet, but that's okay. I didn't buy it because we had to open it that night. I was like, hey, I brought over some wine. And so they just put it in the fridge. And so we were just talking, and then obviously their dog was there, so I always hang out with their dog. I know this looks like a hot mess. I apologize that you guys are like, what are you doing with yourself? It'll get better. But their adorable doggy was there, Archie. And so we always obviously hang out with him, and apparently I bring out the craziness in him because he was acting cuckoo, and they're like, he never acts like this, and I'm like, oops, my bad. So he was just very happy to see me, I guess. And like I said, we hung out. I talked for a while just because everything that was going on, it was a lot of information. But Jeff was kind of there too to kind of hear me and talk to me, and he gave me his advice, obviously, which was very helpful. And so we ate a little bit, had some wine, and then we watched Rush Hour 2. I absolutely love Rush Hour 2. Celeste said, you know, she's like, oh, it's okay, but me and Jeff love it, and we like quote the movie pretty much the whole time. But it was really fun. I think he liked kind of having somebody who also liked that movie, watching it with him. So that was super, super fun. And then, oh, so I'm trying to fix stupid, there we go. Okay, perfect. Now it's like shaped a little bit better. Yeah, so you watched Rush Hour 2 and then went to bed, obviously, and then the next day we went to what was that restaurant called? Valentine, I believe. Yeah, so that was Sunday. Jeff was out with his friends doing, like, you know, football stuff. And me and Celeste, because I told her, I was like, hey, you know, I know we always get coffee and stuff, but you know, how would you want to do like brunch Sunday morning? And she goes, yeah, that sounds great. I know a place. And the places that she goes are actually like really cool, just because they're, you know, they're different. They're not just like, oh, here's a random Denny's, which is kind of what my parents do. Like, they find places that are unique. The price range is a little different just because my parents like the, you know, the more bougie places. But Celeste likes like those like kind of healthy, like a little bit different. Like, I actually had for breakfast tacos, which they had like potato and, you know, all that good stuff in it, and it was absolutely so delicious. But again, not something you're gonna just, you know, get at a random restaurant. You know, that was something that place did, and they grew all like their food and stuff like there. You know, super, super healthy, which I like. You know, it makes your body feel good. And, you know, I had to drive back that day, so I'm always down to pretty much try whatever she has. And so so that was really, really delicious. Sorry, I'm trying to find my stupid powder. Oh, it's in here, though. And so it was really good. And then we actually went and got our nails done. So I got some fall nails. I wasn't sure about this color. Originally I wanted this like sparkly orange color. Like you literally looked at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's fall. But they were out, and so she's like, oh, we can do this color and I can add sparkle, which I don't know if you can see on my ring finger, there's like bigger pieces of sparkle, because she's like, well, we'll try it on that finger, since, you know, because I already told her I wanted a design on that finger. And so she goes, well, we'll put it on that finger, and, you know, you can decide if you want to do that to all the hand, you know, whatever. And honestly, I didn't really like it. I didn't like the tone of the sparkles, because they're green. I thought the sparkles were gonna like go with the brown color, and they didn't really. So I was like, oh, it's okay, we'll just keep it on the ring finger. I like that it's different. But I actually did like the brown that she had picked out anyway. I think that's probably why too, is because I actually like the color. Because my thing with doing colors like brown and tan and whatever is that it's going to be too close to my skin tone and throw off the whole thing. So I didn't want it to make my skin tone look weird, you know, because usually I'll pick colors that accent it, you know, or in the summer make me look tanner than I actually am, you know, stuff like that. So that's why I was kind of nervous about it. But like I said, I actually really liked it. So, and ended up being okay. So like I said, the girl did really, really good with it too. So it worked out, and I have beautiful fall nails. My birthday actually is and I don't even know what the date is today, but my birthday's in a couple weeks. It's the 23rd of October, so hopefully my nails will last until then. If not, I'll just get some birthday nails and do, I don't want to do like specifically birthday, because then it won't go, I feel like, with like the rest of the time after my birthday happens. But still want it to look good. There is something like really new and like that has happened, but I feel like that's not something you share on social media or YouTube or anything like that. Where I feel like when the time comes, I'll talk about it, but that time probably is not right now. You know, there's a time and a place for all conversations and topics, and I don't feel this is one of them. So I've applied to vet schools, which is, you know, that's pretty exciting. So I pretty much, I don't really know when I'm supposed to know. They literally just said, if you don't hear anything by pretty much my winter break, assume that means that you're not getting an interview, you know, moving on to step number 2, which, you know, if you think about it, it kind of sucks, because I'm like, okay, so I get to Christmas and nothing's happened, and then what, now I'm all like depressed Christmas break? Like, I mean, I've obviously planned, like, if I don't hear anything, you know, what the next plan is and what I'm gonna do and all that, but still, that doesn't make it less, you know, nerve-wracking and, you know, sad if I don't make it. So like I said, that definitely is unfortunate, but what are you gonna do, I guess? So I can never figure out what color my freaking eyebrows are. Ooh, that's definitely not it. I mean, I guess it'll kind of blend. Does that look stupid? Yes, it does. It does look dumb. Sorry. That was not. Just gonna. See, this is why I don't do my eyebrows, because I feel like it's like too much of a pain. And maybe I'll just do this to the other eye and it'll spike them up, and now they're fine. So yeah, so pretty much just waiting for vet schools to tell me whether or not I have an interview. So that's kind of a lot of pressure. Like I said, a lot could happen or not happen. So that's kind of a lot. But whatever the universe, I guess, has in store for me will be, I don't know what happens. So if there is time, one of the schools I applied to is obviously U of A, and their program is only 3 years. So if I make it into their program, I can technically catch up with everyone getting everywhere else. That's a 4 program. So I guess that, kind of helps. And there are stuff I want to do outside of not doing school. I mean, like taking a year off, not like never wanting to become a vet. I still want to get my vet tech certification. That's definitely a for sure. It's definitely happening. And so that's obviously, oh my god, sorry, I cannot keep my thoughts together. So if I do have to take a year off from school, I want to get my vet tech certification, so I can still work in my career field, but work, save money, all of that. And then maybe do like almost like an internship. I know that kind of sounds like geeky, like you won't be in school, why are you doing internship? But like something with like maybe wildlife conservation or something like that. That would be kind of cool as like a off gap year. Because again, I'm not just gonna I can sit and work, but I feel like there's opportunities that I can take advantage of still, even if it's not, starting vet school right away. Oh, I poked myself in the eye with my brush. God, I hate when I do that. So yeah, so there are still many angles that I could do. And so that's one reason why I'm like, oh, if I don't get in, like my life is over, because I know that's gonna happen to people when they don't really have a plan B, and all they have is plan A, plan A, plan A. And then when plan A doesn't work, everyone's just kind of like, well, crap, what am I gonna do now? So that's why, I talked to my mom, and that's why we've been talking about that, and possibly going to like a different state for a year. Like Chicago has some programs, and I have family in Chicago, so I would still have family, and again be saving money, like with living situations and all that. So again, that definitely helps. I would never go to like, oh, I'm gonna go to Arkansas, like what am I gonna find in Arkansas? You know what I mean? Like, unless it was like a great program or something, yes. But one place I think would be kind of cool to do something if I took a year off is Colorado, and do research or somehow work with the Dr. Jeff from Rocky Mountain Vet. I absolutely love him. I love his program. Not program, I just mean like the way he teaches and, his clinic, and I absolutely love the message he sends to communities, and, not just in Colorado, he works with, like Mexico and places like that are very poor but still need animal care, because just because you might not have a lot of money, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to witness the unconditional love of a pet. So I definitely love that he's not just all about the money, money. And he does low cost like spay and neuters, which I love, because again, that's how overpopulation happens. It's because people either don't want to fix their pets or just don't have the money for it. So like I said, I love everything that he does. And that's what I want to do one day as a vet. Obviously, he owns his own practice, and so it's a lot easier for him to do certain things, but that doesn't mean that I can't start working towards those things myself. So Oh, this is eye for the eyes. Interesting. I'll try that next time. So that would be something really exciting that I've definitely considered doing. And so just stuff like that. And even when I do get into vet school, like U of A has a program. I applied to other ones, but U of A has this program where they, like your third year, which is like your clinicals, basically, where you can do, sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts again. So they have a program third year where you pretty much get to pick where you want to go on your clinical rotations. And the cool thing too is it can be out of state. Like I could still end up in Colorado doing a 6-week clinical or however long it is. Or people can stay in Arizona and do them all in Arizona, you know, or I could go up to Gilbert or Chandler, you know, stay with my parents and do, you know, clinical. Like it's super awesome. Cause they're like, well, we know not a lot of people want to stay in Tucson or whatever after school, or maybe there's people from out of state that didn't get into their in-state and so they're here, but they still want to go back and work in a back to where they came, where they came from and where all their family is. And so they're like, we don't want to, let people not, do that. Or maybe there's a way to, like, let's say I've always had a dream of where I want to work in Hawaii. I want to be a vet in Hawaii. But I'm like, well, I'm not going to just move to Hawaii and hope everything works out. So I could literally find a clinic in Hawaii, do research, and, have them be part of my program too. And I could spend 6 weeks in Hawaii, and if I hate it, hey, I'm back to Arizona in 6 weeks anyway. But if I love it, now I know, hey, that's a possible career option after I graduate. And now the clinic already knows who I am and my foot's already in the door. So if I move to if I move to Hawaii, it wouldn't just be like, okay, free for all. Hopefully you find something, maybe you won't, who knows, so it's a great opportunity. And so I told my mom I definitely, regardless if I get into, CSU or anything, I definitely think I should tour Colorado because I know it's absolutely beautiful. My aunt lives there. It's a beautiful state, but I haven't been since I was like 3 years old. So again, I don't want to, if I do get accepted to Colorado, now I don't really have time. Well, I could. Anyway, but again, I'm not going to move somewhere and then now I hate it and now I have to be stuck here for 4 years or, whatever. And so, of course, my mom was like, okay, yeah, that's a really good idea. So, hopefully I can do that soon. And then obviously we have to coordinate with my aunt and all that. But I think that would be, it's definitely something I want to look at. And so, again, if I end up loving Colorado, then maybe I can find like an externship out there or something, or work as a vet tech out there for a year or 6 months or whatever, on my, gap. I know I'd have to get relicensed in Colorado. I know that, don't worry. But again, all these opportunities that could happen. So that's why I'm not 100% like, if I don't get into vet school, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Obviously that's that's plan A, but unfortunately plans don't always go to plan. So you always gotta have like a backup plan. So that's why I've been thinking, and I'm honestly coming up with some really great options. Literally everything I've come up with, I'm not like, well, that's not great compared to vet school. It's like, honestly, a gap year and living in a different state and still getting to do what I love, like, wouldn't be that upset about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great option for me. So, so I'm glad that I was able, me and my mom put our heads together and was able to kind of find out and figure out, stuff like that, which was really good. So, and with that said, so my makeup is done. I know it always looks so different, like in with the light than just like on my phone. But you know, this is my eyeshadow. I just put a little bit like lip tint, some Burt's Bees, and it helps too with keeping my lips hydrated. Because I still have to like brush my teeth and all of that. So makeup is done. I have to figure out what I'm gonna wear. It's actually I guess pink out, or the theme is pink, you know, for breast cancer awareness. So I have this cute little dress that I'm gonna wear. If you want to see it, please check out my Instagram. I will have a picture in it posted for you guys. And thank you for kind of listening to my little spiel here. Like I said, hopefully it was a little bit more entertaining than just watching me put makeup on and describing why I have this specific concealer. Like, you know, I know that can get redundant after a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Cheers.